Good afternoon or good morning to whoever's listening to this webinar today from the Academic Services Department from Liberty Public Schools. This is Christopher Hand, Director of Assessment. I have a special guest with me today, Bill Paluca. Bill, can you introduce yourself to everyone?
Hello, everyone. It's Bill Paluca. I'm your local Houghton Mifflin Harcourt representative. We're the company that handles Go Math.
So today, Bill's going to show us some PD regarding Think Central, Bill. So how you think you're going to do that?
From
Good
Central
stuff.
Office,
Exactly. Well, if you want to get a hold of you, Bill, first of all, teachers, how could they get a hold of you?
Probably the best way to get a hold of me is to just route requests and questions through your principal or through Jeanette Westfall. We're on speed dial with each other and speed email. We're always communicating.
I've never heard of speed email, Bill, but I'm sure Dr. Westfall has speed email. Give them fast. So why don't you take it away here and show them some PD?
All right. So I've had the pleasure of coming out to several of your schools to do some grade level meetings, and I haven't been to every school though. So plus for teachers who have seen me but would like a refresher, this will be handy for that too. So I want to just make sure, I want to show you how to get into Think Central today, and then I'm also going to show you how to use the Interactive Student Edition. Okay, the Interactive Student Edition is kind of home base for instruction in the new Think Central platform. So first of all, on your screen, you'll see we have the Think Central login page up for you here. You're probably familiar with this, but I wanted to be sure in case somebody wasn't that we would show you this. When you get to this page, you and your students will need to choose your state, your district, and your school. Now, that's a bit of clicking, but when you click the Remember My School button here, then it will, when you come back again to the site, it'll have all those things saved.
So it's like a cookie that will put all that information in?
Totally, yes.
Okay.
And if you have your computer set up to save your username and password, you may have to re-enter your password actually anyway. Just wanted to make that note.
So once you're logged in, what do we do?
So once we're logged in, I'm going to actually switch over now to an evaluation account. It's similar to the real account, but so once you're in here, your dashboard looks like this. It's very important in Liberty that you go to this drop-down menu and you choose NL Go Math. Because you piloted the previous edition of Go Math, you may have a couple different Go Maths in there, and if you're not using the one that says NL, you're not using the most recent edition. Okay? So make sure that's checked, and then you can come along and check your grade level here. And then you see your assets are listed across here, and there are more. If you click this little arrow, you'll see some more things there. Today, we just want to focus on the Interactive Student Edition. So I'm going to click on this button right here that says Go Math Interactive Student Edition, Teacher. I'm going to click on that. It'll open up in a new window. Then I can choose my chapter and my lesson right here. This opens up a 5-stage lesson that kind of mirrors the lesson that's in your print book. So it's going to load here. And then you'll have your essential
What strategies can you use to multiply with 7?
All right.
So what strategies can we use?
I have no idea. No.
Okay. He does, folks.
But so this is always going to organize the learning here. And then when you click Start, it's going to take us into the first step of the lesson. So I click Start. I can mute that if you like.
Hi there. I just found out that my friend Pedro has decided to start something new called Prairie Dog Week.
So
Pedro is going to check the weather for 7 days. Click Pedro to find out how often he's going to check the weather each day.
So Bill, as we're looking at this, what grade level is this?
This is 3rd grade.
Okay.
Okay. Good question, because it's developmentally, gauged there. So things will flash. Kids will click on them.
Pedro told me he's going to check the weather 5 times each day.
So this lesson
if he checks the weather
continue here. You guys, as teachers, you can explore the content you're most interested in. The thing I just want to let you know is these 5 buttons at the bottom of your screen correspond to the 5 E's of your lesson plan and in your teacher edition. So the first one is
That's good.
I think it's Engage, and
Mhm.
that's the green one.
Mhm.
Then the next one's blue. So you'll be able to see in your teacher edition how this tracks exactly with what you're doing in your print resources.
So we can help
Logan's
Pedro on
family
his
has a
adventure.
new puppy.
Totally, Pedro will be totally
Logan
taken care
takes
of.
a
Good.
turn walking the puppy
Um,
once a day.
This Unlock the Problem. It steps through the problem and it teaches kids.
To find the
have to
number of
click on
times Logan
things.
will walk the puppy in 6 weeks, you need to find the number of times.
Okay,
So you can mute it too.
you can mute it.
That's really key.
But so this will the second stage. Okay, where this is where you unlock the problem happens. Kids will be engaged because they'll have to click on things,
Mhm.
but it will do the work.
Oh, wonderful.
Stage 3 is where they actually participate and do some of the things.
So now in this one, for example, Bill, you've shown a lot. You've shown a lot to our district regarding smarter balance testing that's coming and
Mhm.
anything that's new with the state of Missouri. Is this a drag and drop that you can use?
Yeah, so this one is, and I'm just not really familiar with this one, but they are that kind of thing. Let's see if we actually went.
So you'll
through
give
it.
various examples of test questions you could possibly see
Yes.
on the map tests in the next coming years.
Correct. And this actually happens is even more pronounced when we get into our fourth and fifth steps of the lesson, where the personal math trainer comes into play, and that's where you can click on this whistle. So we're in the elaborate section.
Mhm.
This is your guided practice here.
I've heard a lot about this from some of the teachers at Lewis and Clark and some other areas, Donovan, I think, too.
Yep.
And so this is interesting. This will be good to see.
It's very cool. So kids will work through these problems. They can view a step-by-step of the problem. So it'll actually step kids through the problem to get to the solution. Now, if students do that on a homework assignment, they have to do another problem without step-by-step assistance to get credit for the assignment. Also, the math on the spot videos are here. These are very popular with teachers and students. A lot of teachers I think are using these. This is kind of the first thing they started to use at Think Central, but these are great. They feature our authors, and then there's a glossary. There's all kinds of tools like virtual manipulatives and things that teachers can use here. I mean, that students can use. But yeah, so these are questions that are designed to look to mimic the Smarter Balance testing environment. So all of your practice and your tests will be in the personal math trainer in this familiar environment for kids.
So when a student fills this out, how is the teacher getting that information of whether they've moved on or were able to master this level?
So in the interactive student edition lesson, teachers will find out if kids have completed this.
Back on their dashboard?
Right, back on their dashboard. Now, when teachers assign things outside the personal math or the interactive student edition, which will be we'll do that another time. Then you can get reports back. The adaptive practice feature of Newton will kick in, like all that kind of reporting, the in-depth reporting happens when you assign it separately from the interactive.
So that reporting that you get back in your dashboard or where you can pull that from, you can just give that to a kid the next day.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
or actually, students can you can set it up so students can see their results.
Really?
if you like, yeah.
Wow.
And you can track, standards achievement across your class or across a principal could do across a grade or this sort of thing.
Wonderful.
The personal math trainer also gives great feedback. Like if I put in that number and check my answer, it will say what to do to get the correct answer. So tell your students to get in the habit of reading this feedback, and it'll hopefully help them solve their issues with the problems, the steps they've taken to get to their answer, in the actual process here.
Well, this is a really great tool, and this is something that we have to utilize across the district. We purchased it, and it's a resource. It's not the curriculum itself, but it's a wonderful resource. We're going to do many more of these videos. Is there anything else you want to say within this this webinar?
I just say I think if you want to engage your kids and get into Think Central, just kind of an initial thing, the Interactive Student Edition is kind of an all-in-one digital unit of not unit but a digital glob of stuff. Glob, yeah. That you can just assign that, or you can share it with the kids, and it's like boom, tons of stuff is in there. It's easy to do. So
Well, that's wonderful. Well, Bill's here this week for the webinar. Next week, we will probably end up maybe even doing another one of these to send out to you. All these can be found on Dr. Westfall's Twitter page, my Twitter page, and also we will send these out to your principals. Again, have a great morning, and remember to inspire, invest, and innovate always within Liberty Public Schools.
Keep up the good work.